There's Mark doing his thing. I think he may have done this once, I'm not sure. What is up, guys? Thanks so much for stopping by at the channel. Once again, I was thinking about it. So Matt, he's the owner of Diesel Pros in Swartz Creek, Michigan, and also have a owner of Ryan's Diesel Service in North Prairie, Wisconsin. Really awesome to have these two guys here. But Matt, however, him and I had this discussion at his business about customers that come in inquiring about rebuilt turbos versus a brand new turbo. I was doing some of my own research actually, and I've noticed that some companies out there offer a turbo with a no core charge at a very good price point, such as like $1,800 for a brand new turbo with no core. And then we have guys like Ryan's Diesel Service who actually rebuild these turbos and do it the correct way, take their time, but at that point he's also going to want a core. So it's just stuff that I wish I would have known, and I want to share that knowledge with you guys today, and maybe we might be able to get some questions answered. So make sure you guys stay tuned. So like I was mentioning, I do have Matt here. I know that we did talk in your shop a little bit, but how many customers come in inquiring about, you know, rebuild turbos versus the new turbos?
We get a lot of customers that come in the shop and they inquire about a larger turbo, or they come in even with just a simple turbo problem. And one of the biggest questions is, you know, what is the difference between a remanufactured unit and a new unit? My personal opinion is, you know, the quality of the remanufactured. If a turbo, in my opinion, is remanufactured the right way, you're getting all new quality parts, you're getting quality machinery, you know, and everything that turbo needs is getting replaced, you know, with genuine parts, or, you know, an upgraded equivalent aftermarket or something like that. So the quality, in my personal opinion, of a remanufactured turbo is all in the builder of that turbo and the quality and the, you know, time that they take to put into that unit. New units, sometimes it seems as though, you know, we have more problems out of, because they're mass produced with bulk parts, and the tolerances are much, you know, not what they should be. We see more failures actually out of new units than what we do remanufactured units. We've been doing a lot of Ryan's turbos. We've had great luck out of them, and most all the turbos that we buy are remanufactured. And a lot of that is a price point to the customer.
How many customers have you known, and not essentially like the turbos that you've installed, but stories that you may have heard, or even you as the viewers that may have actually had this happen to you, where you bought a new turbo, okay, and then you blow it up, you know, 3,000 miles later, you know? So I'm sure you've heard that story numerous times, and I'm sure Ryan definitely has heard that story numerous times. So I do appreciate your input. Now this blows my mind here. I have arguably, and I'm going to say it, the best turbo rebuilder. He's here today on the channel, and this is a very exciting thing. I actually run one of his turbos, and I have beat the snot out of it, okay? And some of you guys may have seen that and may be able to insert some clips in this video of me doing some craziness with it. I've known lots of folks that actually run that turbo, and I've not heard a bad thing out of it. Since we're here, we're going to go ahead and dive right into this. So here's Ryan. Ryan, I know that Matt was explaining to us, you know, some of the customers' questions and how he addresses that.
There's going to be a brand new genuine Garrett unit right here. This unit here basically literally came out of Garrett box today. This one here, like I say, is obviously brand new. The question we get asked all the time is brand new, reman, which way do I go? I would say our most popular one is a reman. You know, the thing that I tell guys is it is, you know, machine wise, everything like that, exactly the same. As far as these units go, when we get them in as for example, a brand new unit, we'll actually go, when these units come in, we'll take all the bearings out that are actually in here from the factory, literally throw them away. We'll put all our HD bearings in there. Everything gets replaced, all new seals. Even though it's brand new with 0 miles on, we'll start from scratch. That's all said and done with new bearings. All the machine work, everything like that is done. You're still going to get a new actuator, vane position sensor as well too. Compressor cover will be a factory style looking. It'll look stock appearing just like this. The reman versions, when we get them in, a couple things we'll go and make sure, as far as obviously make sure no broken bolts. You can still put all the factory heat shields, everything like that on. As far as remanufacturing side goes, we'll go and actually, when we get these apart, we'll blast these all down, check the center sections. If there's any in and out movement whatsoever with those center sections, they're scrapped. Basically, you side to side, which on this unit you'll see it's going to have some shaft play. Obviously, being a brand new unit, oil, you know, hasn't been put through around the bearings yet, everything like that. This unit obviously should have no in and out movement. As you can see here, there's
so
nothing.
Pushing it in and pulling it out. Correct. There shouldn't be any play whatsoever.
Correct. You don't want to see any movement like that. Like I say, side to side, you'll have some side to side, especially being a brand new unit out of the box. We've had guys call us in the past before and say, hey, my brand new unit, you know, reman unit, whatever it may be that they got from us, there's some movement in it. I tell them it's 100% normal. You know, wait until you go, get the unit on there, get the truck started and everything like that. Right here is actually a new style LB7 that we're doing. This is our Gen 2s. This is a sweet little unit. This one here, this is actually a 64 mil. We offer these in a 64 and a 68. Comes standard with a 10-blade turbine. These are 100% cast made in the US of A. They're not a China cartridge or anything like that. A lot of guys will go and actually buy a Chinese unit, you know, whether it's off eBay or whatever, get it into their shop, do all their machine work. Everything here is made in the US.
So while we have that point, and I know Matt sort of drove it home as well, but you're talking China turbo. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to cutting cost. So these companies can mass produce these and say, hey, I don't need your core.
Exactly.
So like this is my old turbo, and it's kind of cool because it's, you know, I did a how-to video on how to install a turbo. But yeah, this is what you'd end up doing. You'd turn in your core when you purchase a remanufactured turbo of your choice, i.e. 64 millimeter, 68, high flow vanes. The price can continue to go up. So what kind of cheap parts are they using? Like, is it
the big thing that we see is, the big thing always is center section wise, where they'll cheap out with the center section, that, and actually on the back side here on the actual wastegate, where this is actually your flap, which is going to allow you to blow it off. This here I've seen where they actually have these very neck down, very common for them break point and that sort of thing. So that's why ours, you can see you got a lot of area in here, just like OE. The other thing that some of those guys are doing is they don't have a threaded actuator rod on here. This is actually threaded. Our actuator here actually has 21, if I remember correct, 21% more than actually factory as far as tension goes. So there's no need for, you know, a lot of guys will go and put the boost valve in here. There's no need for that. You don't need to put a boost valve in here. You could set this up as stock and no need for that.
I actually saw a video of you have a test truck here, believe it or not, and the startup on this LB7 sounded very similar to an LOI, or even I would even say an LBZ.
Definitely.
So that was pretty interesting.
You betcha. These units are they whistle hard. They whistle really hard. The big thing LB7 guys always wanted, they wanted to hear that whistle. You know, the VGT guys always had them. They could always have that. And LB7 guys, that was the biggest thing we always heard was, my truck just doesn't whistle. These units here, they scream. They're really loud and they sound awesome.
It's a good tip for you LB7 guys.
If you guys go, you buy a new unit, like you say, there's no core charge. Like you say, there are some guys that they just want to keep their old unit, you know. Maybe it's one thing down the road that they plan on selling the truck and they want to go and say, hey, you know, I want to put the truck back to stock, I'm going to trade it in for dealer, that sort of thing. That's great. Brand new unit would be good for you and be sufficient at that point. But if you're looking for, like you say, good quality, everything like that, reman unit is just as good in our opinion. Like you say, they go through many hands, inspected thoroughly before it leaves our building here. And actually it's myself that actually assembles every single unit. As of today, at this point, I'm the only one that goes and does any machining or any assembly. I have one machinist that does all of it. He's been a machinist for many years, and we have really awesome quality that way.
Hey guys, so that's all the time that I have for today. If you have any questions, or if you guys want to reach out to myself or any one of the guys, I'll leave all the information below. Oh, by the way, I do have an Instagram. Make sure you're following me. You're missing out if you're not. Also, I'll be tagging Ryan's Diesel Service in the Instagram as well. Picture related to this video when I post it, so you guys can follow him as well. So other than that, guys, I appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.